Yo guys, what is going on? Got some more BT7 games for you guys. This is going to be a quick couple of games, and you'll see why once you actually see what decks are played in the games. So, for the red deck on the right, we got Jesmon, everyone's favorite one-stack deck. If you ask me, I really think the deck is quite boring, and I hate playing against it, but of course it is still a really solid pick overall, I think, for the BT7 meta. We're going to see a Huckmon played for 3, and then passing it over to the opponent on the left, who is playing, you guessed it, X-Antibody. This is the battle of the Monke decks, two very aggressive one-stack decks that just want to build up into their mega and, like, OTKU. This could either go one of two ways. It could be very interesting or just very one-sided. We're going to see a Dorumon played for 3 and then a Coda played for cost of 4. Dorumon lets you then reveal the top 3 at an X-Antibody, and then Coda lets you reveal the top 4 at an X-Antibody. So searching basically any of the levels that you're missing, maybe the Dorugumon, Dorugoromon, Dorugreymon, etc. So a pretty consistent deck, I think, but Jesmon also has a lot of consistency pieces. Of course, we got the Sistermon Blanc for the draw card. We got stuff like Red Memory Boost, and of course, the Huckmon, the BT6 Huckmon, as well as the new one that lets you on attack reveal top 5, add some Sistermons and stuff. So we're going to see a second copy of Huckmon played after the tie on the right to guarantee the Jesmon player the 3 memory every single turn, and then see a Huckmon as well as a Sistermon Blanc added to the hand. So +2 definitely feels nice. Now we also do have the Gaussmon, which is one of the Floodgate rookies, so the black player won't be able to reduce any evolution costs. However, most traditional decks usually don't really care about that. It's really the hybrid decks that's good against, so it might be worth it to just like chuck that dude into security and start attacking. We're going to see an Atomic Blaster hit in security off of the Dorumon swing, which is definitely good to get that card out of the way. It can be definitely a pain to deal with. Atomic Blaster is a really good defensive card, which would be actually pretty good against the Jesmon players field. If you see a field like that full of Floodgate rookies and searchers and stuff, Atomic Blaster can save you a lot of games. We're going to see the BT7 Huckmon Digivolve, and then the Set 6 Huckmon is going to swing into security, hit a Dorugreymon, and then die. We're going to just start swinging, no point in keeping these searchers on field, putting our X-Antibody friend down to 3 security, and then playing the third copy of Huckmon that we search off of the second copy of Huckmon, revealing a Sistermon Blanc, Awaken, a CL, and a, those are the only 2 viable targets, so we're going to see both of those added to the hand. These Awakened cards are pretty cool. I believe the Blanc Awakened lets you recover 1, and then the CL Awakened lets you pop something like play cost 5 or lower, something pretty cool cards, nice utility. However, I think Jesmon for the most part usually just wants to OTK, so those cards aren't really ran at more than like 1 or 2 copies each. We're going to see the Dorugreymon come out. Dorugoromon is going to hit the board, and this is what I was talking about. Keeping those little guys on the field against Dorugoromon is not going to work out for the Jesmon player, because we're just going to see 2 pops here, no blockers left, and then Dorugoromon is checking a ton of security. I think we've got 2 Dorugreymons underneath there, so he's got +2 security tag, and he's also got a bunch of plus DP. I believe the Dorugumon, yeah, the champion, gives him +1,000 if he's got X-Antibody, and then he's also boosted by his own effect. So he's punching for, like, enough to the point where he probably won't die to security. And then so we're just going to check a bunch of security. Digivolve into the Omnimon's War Defeat. What a nasty play. We're going to get rid of the tie. Still putting our opponent to 3, but of course this gets rid of the threat of the extra security checks potentially coming out for Jesmon, but I don't think it's really going to matter unless we see like a Gaia Force here. I think we can just swing for a game if black players got the hybrid. Otherwise, we check him down to 0 security and then just memory choke him so we can't go into like another Jesmon. Oh, we're just going to see another tie played for a cost of 4. Then the black antibody player is going to start. He's got the, of course, the Zwart Defeat on the field, which doesn't get the security checks, unfortunately, because he is not an X-Antibody. But at this point, you've already basically done your Dorugoromon's job, and this is just the icing on the cake. We're going to swing for the last security card, and does he have it in the hand? Yes, we're going to see the Grumblemon attacking 4 games. So guys, that is going to be game 1, quite a fast one, like I was telling you. We're going to see the Jesmon player start this time. Does he have the God Stack? We're going to see Gaussmon Digivolved for a cost of 0. We're going to see then, oh, is it? Yes, it is the Security Greymon. The Jesmon players are built different. They always seem to have the stack whenever you don't want to see it. So we're going to see Security Greymon Digivolved for 2. I don't know why I'm acting so hype with these announcements. I feel like I'm like an esports commentator or something. Anyways, so we're going to see the Tsunarizamon Digivolved, and then the Doragomon. Tsunarizamon's a pretty crazy card because that's just another security attack plus off of a rookie inherited, which is pretty crazy, and then the Doragreymon. So black player also opening like perfect stack here. Like that is what you want to see. And then we're going to see Savior Huckmon, allowing the Jesmon to unsuspend, checking 4, potentially 5 if he's got the tie. We're going to play the Huckmon, but does he have the Jesmon? He didn't reveal any off of that Huckmon, so we're going to take another Savior as well as a Sister Mont Blanc. Gotta play the 4 Saviors while you can before it gets limited for BT8 pre-release. So then we're just going to pass it over, giving our black antibody friend 3 memory here, which is definitely not what you want to do, but it's possible he doesn't have the Doragoromon, so we might see like a Coda play here to search it and then guarantee him the 3 memory. Also, I think you might as well just keep the Doragreymon in the breeding area, because Doragoromon is going to check for so many. Sometimes it's better to just play it safe. You never know, even though Jesmon usually doesn't run any defensive cards, sometimes they might side in like a Gaia Force, or I mean, even if they're main decking, yeah, they might play that, and that would be a little bit unfortunate, setting you back a couple of turns. So we're going to then play the Dorumon, getting a search off of the top 3 there, and then are we going to? No, we're going to keep the Savior Huckmon into the breeding area. So I think the Jesmon player is really just trying to dig for his copy of Jesmon, and that is the unfortunate thing about this deck, and why we don't see it. Like, usually, I think at least, whenever there's like a big event going on, you usually see like 1 or 2 Jesmon sneaking into top cut, but usually I don't think it's consistent enough. It's for a large spectrum of players to get in. It's a very high rolly deck. So if you open good, you open good. If you don't, you have situations like this where you're just digging for the last piece you need in order to OTK your opponent. We're going to see the Doragoromon come out, and then that is just going to put another Doragreymon underneath it, and then checking, I believe, 4 total because of the 2 Doragreymons, the Tsunarizamon, because Doragoromon does give himself the attack boost. I believe it's for like every X-Antibody underneath him. He is 13,000 or more, so he will be able to swing for the security check off the Tsunarizamon as well, and then deleting the Savior Hook. He is, I believe, bigger than 14,000 because he's got like 3 or 4 X-Antibodies underneath him, and then we're just going to check 4, basically getting rid of all of our opponent's security, and then swinging for the last security check with the Dorumon, running into the Savior Hook, but it's not really going to matter. If our opponent does have Jesmon here, it could be a bit unfortunate, because then he can swing twice and swing over the Doragoromon and checking potentially the entire stack now that he's got security attack, Greymon, and tie. And then we're going to see a Gardromon played for a cost of 5, which Gardromon is a pretty cool card. He is a blocker, which doesn't really do much against Jesmon, unfortunately, because they do pretty much always have the piercing effect. But he is 7,000 blocker, so maybe, I don't know, it'll stop in a Gunimon or something, potentially, for going for game. So we're going to see the Savior Huckmon bring out into the main battle area, and our opponent is not going into the Jesmon. So it's possible he just like doesn't have it, at which point you don't have Jesmon, you're at 0 security. There's not a whole lot you can do aside from just getting rid of the Doragoromon, because keep in mind, Gardromon cannot attack. So if the Doragoromon does leave the field, unless like the only thing you could really do is like Digivolve the Gardromon into like an ultimate and then swing for game, we're just going to see the Huckmon played for a cost of 3, not revealing any Jesmons, double Judgment Blade, and that is just going to be game. Scoop it up because there is no Jesmon for our opponent. So guys, that is going to be the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think of these 2 decks, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.